What's up, everybody? Been a little bit.
Hey, guys.
I'm Justin.
I'm Brandon.
Welcome to Flip Phone Confessional. And it is spooky season, everybody.
Woo.
Like this little ghost. I'm going to put this on for everybody there in the visual audience. But it feels spooky outside.
It was a foggy day driving in.
Super foggy.
I have a beanie on.
That's true.
You know?
If this isn't the most quintessential 90s
It turned its
decoration,
face.
it's turning on its own.
Oh, okay, got it.
For those people to hear it, this is like the best sound as a kid. You remember, like, did your parents have something like this as far as a decoration or something?
Some degree.
Wow, that's a no.
It's like a ghost. He's, for those listening at home, that's a...
People know. They know what that sound is.
Yeah,
today is going to start our Halloween series. For today's episode, we're going to talk about kind of our favorite things about Halloween as a kid, candy, costumes, memories. But we also want to get into how Halloween has evolved today versus when we were kids back in the 90s. And I think it is drastically different. We'll get to that later in the show. But, as far as Halloween, I was not much of a Halloween guy. I'm not much of a Halloween person overall. Huh. I'm not into horror films. Halloween's just not really my vibe. Now,
you love holidays, though.
I do love holidays.
So this is interesting that this one doesn't connect. But also, I don't know if you knew this, but you were a fat kid.
I was also fat.
Yeah, so Halloween...
We had to get that plug. There we go.
So you love holidays. You were fat.
Yeah.
You didn't mind candy and consuming, sweet, fatty products.
I'm pretty sure I leaned into that as a Pillsbury Doughboy costume.
Did you actually?
I think so. I got to find a picture.
Oh, wow.
No, but I came, so, great. For a little perspective, I came from a super die-hard religious family, so Halloween was always kind of a little taboo of, like, not the most celebrated. Now, my mom...
like Satan's holiday kind of thing?
Kind of, like... And it's funny, because my mom got progressively more religious the older she got. Now, when we were kids, in her mind, she was okay doing the trick-or-treating. She thought the costumes were great. But as it got older, as it got, like, more, she always was like, oh, it's more demonic, it's more evil. So it wasn't really, celebrated much. We didn't have a ton of, like, decorations in our house, and my family was huge on decorations. But,
got it, interesting.
And even now, I'm just like, horror, not really about it. I love, the idea of my son in future getting dressed up. Spooky season.
What?
That was we got Blitz going on in the background.
Got it. The controller vibrated.
It's not my thing. I'm more of a Christmas guy, like Christmas and Thanksgiving. What about you? Was your family big on Halloween?
You're just so wholesome.
I am wholesome.
Well, Halloween. The word Halloween actually comes from Hallowed Ween. Ween short for wiener. So that makes sense that your mom wasn't really into it. I did a little bit of research.
I'm gonna turn that vibrating part of the analog off.
Yeah, actually, that'd be really good. The vibrating controller would be good for a Hallowed Ween.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. In terms of Halloween, yeah, I mean,
I'm sure Halloween in LA in the 90s was crazy.
Yeah, Orange County, so a little bit different, but I was in like suburbia.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Upper class, got
it. Middle class, but still, that meant that there was a ton of houses that were, like, safe to go to, and there would just be packs of us, herds of us. I mean, this was a huge holiday for me as a kid. So, I wasn't a fat kid, but I was a kid who loved sugar. I'm still
and Raisin Bran.
I'm still a man who loves sugar and Raisin Bran. That's like working on becoming a fat man. So to have a holiday that was devoted to people giving you candy was just insane. Now, in terms of dressing up, I hate being hot. I hate wearing a wig. I hate wearing makeup. So that part was like not my favorite.
Was Halloween always warm in SoCal?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. So there could be like crisp days where you went out. There could be like hotter days, but we were just talking about this the other day, or I think today we were talking about it, that we went out trick-or-treating at night, which isn't as much of a thing now as it used to be.
We'll get into that in a little bit, but I would say, I moved everywhere because I was an Army brat. Most of the states I lived in, Maryland, it was cool in the fall. Even New Mexico was cool in the fall. Colorado, it was wild. There was a stretch when I was a kid here in Colorado that it pretty much snowed almost every Halloween. Like almost every time we went trick or treating, it was snowing. But yeah, as a kid,
That's cool. I've never had a snowy Halloween.
yeah, multiple snowy Halloweens.
Sick.
But no, I would say, yeah, always at dark. That's when we started. Like, you got your either like your McDonald's bucket or a pillowcase, and you just went from house to house. And I would agree too. It's always a gaggle of friends. Like you rolled in groups of like 5 to 8 kids, and it was such a fun experience because you're not in school. Even it's not even after school. It's like at night. It was a one night of freedom of, oh, we get to pretend to be adults. We're out after dark, and we're getting candy, and it's epic.
Like, I'm thinking of like ages like 8 to like 11 or 12.
Correct. Yeah.
You're not in junior high yet. You're
no
not,
parents. You're
no
no
parents.
longer with your parents or trick or treating
like,
with you.
Sometimes you would get like saddled, for at least me, with like a younger sibling.
Yeah.
That you get to like take care of. But in the instances like when I'm 8, I'm mature enough to go out by myself, but I'm not mature enough to take care of like my 4-year-old sister.
Yeah.
And so that's like that perfect sweet spot of
Yeah.
like, and at that point at 8 or 9, not that I was in love with horror, but we would just get like the most like fucked up masks that you could wear because you were like stoked that it was like super metal. You know what I mean?
Horror has 2 syllables.
Horror?
You just said
No, you would get
horror.
No. I would get the best horror mask.
Okay,
like
we're gonna play that back, and I'm gonna let you hear that. I was like,
hey, don't judge me for my Halloween costume
what?
choices, okay?
Okay.
Horrors can be costumes as well.
It's
we all went to college.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The epitome of Halloween in the 2000s, and now even. What was your best costume as a kid?
My mom like made a good amount of my costumes.
Okay.
Because she like loved and cared about me.
Yeah, she
talked about
you.
before.
Yeah.
So like my first 2 costumes were like I was a dinosaur one year, I was Batman one year.
What kind of dinosaur?
I think a brontosaurus.
Okay.
And then I had one year that I was a Wolverine, which was super sick. But back
Did you
then,
have the claws too?
well, I don't know if you remember this, like back in the day, and I think I bought this from the store.
Yeah.
They didn't come with the claws. So they had
the pointy.
They had
fingers,
everything,
yeah.
but they didn't give you like the knives on your hand.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense.
Well, I meant like plastic 3 prongs.
For whatever reason, they didn't either that year. This is like 1962, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
This is probably right when X-Men, the animated series, came out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, like they didn't. It was back in the day where like giving out weapons just wasn't a thing. So we got some yellow dish gloves.
Nice.
And like glued on, not actual knives, but like I think we like whittled
plastic silverware.
We whittled some wood, like some wood. Anyway, I made them and it was awesome. I remember those gloves forever, just walking around and just yeah.
So dinosaur, Wolverine, and what was the other one?
Batman. Beyond that though, in adulthood,
yeah.
I've been Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction. One of my favorite films of all time.
Some gourmet shit?
Some gourmet, yeah. Oh, that's right, you smart motherfucker. And I've also been Johnny Tsunami. This is in college.
Cop out.
So I went to UC Santa Barbara where Halloween is huge. It's the biggest Halloween party on the West Coast.
That is where horrors are.
Yeah. Yeah, I love watching horror films. No, but it's the biggest Halloween party on the West Coast. There was 1 million people who'd come into Isla Vista where Santa Barbara is each year. And there would be mounted police in the streets. There would be these floodlights over the entire like little college city. And it was like at the end of when you're leaving Disneyland.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And it's just like wall-to-wall people.
Just hordes of people.
Hordes of horrors. Films.
Sure.
No, to the point where like people are like having sex in the middle of the street in their costumes, just crazy shit going down. And so in Santa Barbara, there is at least 5 to 6 days of Halloween each year. So if Halloween,
so it's like an event. Like it's a week-long party.
Totally. If Halloween falls on a Friday, then you know you're celebrating
the previous Friday.
You're going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably Monday.
Dang.
If it falls on a Wednesday, then you're probably going
previous Friday up until Wednesday.
Up until Wednesday, and then probably the following Friday.
Still going.
It's still going.
Wow. Okay.
And so it kind of beat the Halloween out of me.
Oh, did it?
Anyway, so because of that, you have like 5 to 6 like costumes per Halloween like year.
So you had to like really prepare for this every single year if you wanted to be a part of the celebration.
Which was a bummer, which is why it beat the Halloween out of me. But for 1 year, you're like,
I'm just going to cop out and do Johnny's.
Well, because friends were like, hey, you should just do that. You have a Hawaiian shirt. You look like him. Da-da-da-da. So, I know. So anyway. Okay, you? Favorite Halloween costume?
I remember, like, this is a core memory, probably because I think it's the first Halloween I remember. I was the Red Power Ranger. I still have the costume. It's upstairs.
You would be.
Yeah, my son's going to wear it one day. No, I would be if I could now. It would be the Green Ranger. He was my favorite.
Long flowing locks?
Yeah. R.I.P. James. No, so I had the red costume. My mom bought, and I still have these two, the Power Ranger white gloves that made the karate action sounds when you pushed your thumb into it. So when you made a punch, it would go.
I remember those.
And I still have them. What's funny is I pulled this costume out like 3 years ago. The gloves still work. Like the batteries have not died. So I don't know why things were made so much better back in the day. But the fact that I can't get batteries to last for a fucking week now, but these things from 30 years ago still work. Yeah. But that was probably my number one. I dressed up as Zorro before. I don't remember this. My mom dressed me up as Zorro. I pictures. I gotta show you this. It had the freaking the little mask. Had the fencing sword too, the plastic one. I'm trying to. And I did dress up. Not blackface, but I did dress up as Will Smith in Independence Day.
Careful. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
I can't remember his character, but
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah, Welcome to Earth. I had the full like freaking Air Force.
Oh, that's
jumpsuit.
like the onesie.
Yeah. And my dad got me one of those. Like I don't know if it was an actual fighter helmet because he had connections in the military, but I had like a pilot's helmet too. So that was like I was obsessed with Independence Day as a kid. So that was probably
Zorro, who is Antonio Banderas. You were Will Smith. So you're like appropriating each year. Is that what you did?
And the Red Ranger,
right?
Which was what was it, senpai? So that was also stealing Japanese culture. So yeah, terrible human being. As an adult, what was my best costume as an adult? I just did a cop out in college. I just did Daniel Craig from Casino Royale. So literally, I just put on a tuxedo and
wait. Is that the picture that I've seen of you taking like in the bathroom, the selfie? No, was that like a wedding or something?
That was for a wedding, but it was the same. It was the same. It was literally 2 months later from that picture that I had that in.
And honestly, when I was Vincent Vega, it was just me in a black suit. Yeah. I had long hair at the time.
You made yourself look good, and you called it a costume,
right? And actually, I was appropriating a white guy there, so
hey.
Touché.
All right, it goes full circle,
right?
But that was my favorite costume, and like you said, going out with all your friends, getting candy. Now, since you came from LA, did people just hand out full size candy bars? Was like that the norm, or was it hit or miss in the neighborhoods that you went to? Because most of the rural areas I went to, it was like 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000. You got a full size candy bar as a kid.
1 in 1,000.
It was very rare.
It's a large sample size.
You go plenty of Halloweens without getting a full-size candy bar.
No. So I wasn't in ritzy or rich Orange County.
But would you go to those rich neighborhoods?
Never did.
Okay.
I think that was after my time where people like started picking up on that. I'd say 1 year I probably went as a hockey player.
Nice.
And so I wore my rollerblades.
Dope.
And that
was efficient.
It was very efficient. So I cleaned up. There was probably...
But then you couldn't be with your friends because you're just like on a solo mission of like, I'm just going to hit as many houses as possible.
Fuck them. What a bunch of slow losers. Yeah. Sorry.
That makes me think of that South Park episode. Scoot. Have you seen that one where they're all on the Lime bikes to go from Lime Scooter? Oh, we'll have to watch it. I digress. But okay, so...
Well, I'd say maybe there was like 3 to 4 houses that did that amongst a neighborhood of, I don't know, 200 to 300 houses.
So yeah, it's still
you would remember.
100.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you would remember, and you'd go back and you'd hit that specifically.
You usually like, oh, the Johnsons on 12th Street, full size Butterfingers. We got to make sure we hit that up,
dude. Totally. So yeah. I just went and visited. Nina and I and my wife just went on this road trip to Montreal where we visited her sister, and we saw her nephew and niece. I think her niece is 9, but her nephew's 7.
Okay.
So 7-year-old boy. And the very first thing that he shows me, like when I get there, he's like, hey, he's showing me like all of his art, and he's like showing this thing that he's made, and this other thing he's made, and he's like, hey, I made a map of my city. And he's like, it's this full map. And he's like, that's...
In Minecraft, just like 3D modeling?
Not quite, but kind of.
That's
and he's like this like awesome kid. Yeah. His name is Bo. He's like super cool kid who's like artsy, and he like showed me his like comic book that he made. But he put together a map of all the houses in his neighborhood and what houses he's hitting for Halloween. So he made this after Halloween last year.
At 7.
Because that's what you did, though. I know. Like, wait a minute. So I dress up.
I did not do that at 7. I was playing Game Boy and just barely making
but
chicken nuggets in the microwave. I wasn't detailing a map of which houses I'm going to hit.
Okay, yeah, that is probably extreme. And like, I don't think I made a map, but I remember it. But it's like, as a kid, they're like, so wait, you're telling me that I can dress up as my favorite superhero?
Yeah, or character. Yeah.
Right. I get to go around with my boys, and we get to like get free candy from people. I know. It was like my number one holiday, which is why I'm surprised that it wasn't yours. But because you're just a good little Christian boy, you know, and you don't like horrors. So, whatever. So
favorite, what was your, out of all the houses when you were getting candy, what was like your go-to candies, or you were so stoked to see when you reached into that bowl and be like, oh, I can't wait.
Okay, like a Snickers bar was like...
Oh, yeah, you love Snickers.
I love Snickers. Yeah. And to get like a full bar yet again, that was like kind of unheard of. I'm also a Nerds guy.
Yep, you've said that before.
You are what you eat, and those like little boxes of Nerds, that was like...
You just crush it in one gulp, you're just like, it's a shot.
Honestly, maybe even like have a few of them open and like hit shots back to back. Yeah, just send it. Beyond that...
What was the candy that you saw in there and you're like, gross? You would either throw it away or give it to your siblings and like, I don't want this.
Well, we would add a third real quick to the ones that like Tootsie Rolls. I'm a big Tootsie Roll guy.
Interesting.
Growing up, that would be like score on the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, that fits with your Raisin Bran narrative.
Kind of. I don't know. I'm an old man.
Charleston Chews, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one house on my street that was like French. And so we would get these like French candies that I would probably love now, but they were in these like weird wrappers, like different flavors, and I was always just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
get out of here.
Yeah,
give me some fries.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. We did, of course, like have the houses that would like give out not candy, or fruit
or toothbrushes.
The
dentist that you hit that's like, here, make sure to have oral hygiene.
Gave me a freaking apple.
Like, fuck you, dude.
But this is back in the times where like we were starting to discover that there's like a razor blade.
Oh yeah,
an apple,
yeah.
was, like,
that was like, I would say middle to late 90s, where they're like, oh, we're gonna be careful for drugs. Not even drugs. I would think it was like more like syringes or razor blades. That was like the PSAs that were going out.
Right. Which no one ever found in my neighborhood.
I never had an issue with candy.
Same.
And I was in Albuquerque for part of my Halloween.
Okay, so what were your favorite candies from Albuquerque?
What was your worst candy, though?
I don't know if I feel like you mean like the one that I just don't like that I always give away?
Correct.
I don't know. It's like not really like a...
Dude, I have mine instantly.
Okay.
Smarties.
Oh, okay.
The friggin' roll of the chalk candy.
The chalk candy, yeah.
Just,
that's true.
Or Runts.
Oh, I totally fucked with Runts. Like, okay, I get it. Like, you don't want like a banana Runt, fine.
The banana Runt is probably one of the worst things to ever exist.
But like the pink Runts and the orange runts and the red Runts, totally, yeah.
Probably back in the 90s, nice throwback, Butterfinger BBs. Those mini bags of Butterfinger BBs were probably...
I would have given you mine.
You didn't like Butterfingers?
Not really.
I'm thinking like Paydays, because I loved peanuts.
Wow. See, this is yet again why we make sense on this podcast.
Yes.
And why we would make sense on like the schoolyard.
I'm thinking
we would just trade. I would give you all
that's
my
fine.
shit.
And like probably like Milky Way. I like Milky Way more than I like.
I was literally about to tell you that I would give
Snickers.
away Milky Way.
Okay, yeah, we'd be fine.
Wow.
We'd be great.
Okay.
Or Starburst. I'd love the little 2-packs of Starburst.
Hell yeah.
We're so
Super
good.
down.
Or like I told you before, I love Sweet Tarts. You know how they'd have the 2-cap, the little square rip packets. Those.
Okay, wait. So we have Sweet Tarts that you love. What's the and Smarties that you don't like?
Because Sweet Tarts are like sour, so I like
The
that.
consistency is somewhat similar though.
But it's not. It's literally not chalk. Sweet Tarts is not the same as Smarties.
Fair.
I will die on that hill.
Okay.
But yeah, like if I got Smarties, I was just like, gross. And what's funny is I didn't like Almond Joys as a kid because I didn't like coconut. But dude, I'm obsessed with Almond Joys. Now, if I got Almond Joys now, I'd be like, give me them all.
Wow, I know what to get you for birthday now.
There you go. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because one of us actually gets someone birthday gifts. Shots fired. Now, as far as like...
Did you give me a birthday gift?
I did. Your axolotl.
That was a birthday gift?
It was right around your birthday.
Oh, got it. Right.
If my memory serves me right.
Axolotl?
Axolotl. The little pink lizard. I don't know what you do it in your own time, but that's your call.
Halloween.
What did you have any, outside of like going with your boys out for trick-or-treating, did you have any specific family traditions or anything that you did, like corn maze or going to pumpkin patch?
Just like a...
How did you get pumpkins? Not like in SoCal. Like, did you just go to the grocery store and buy a pumpkin, or were there actual pumpkin patches that kids could visit?
There are actual pumpkin patches.
You had to probably go pretty far out of the city, right, to get to them?
No, because they would like kind of pop up somewhere. It's like in the same place where Christmas trees pop up.
Yeah, but that's not like an actual pumpkin patch. They're literally just laying out pumpkins, and you get to go choose from pumpkins that are laid out.
Yeah, and they would bring in like, bales of hay.
Okay.
And they would put down a little train track. And...
So have you ever gone to pick out your own pumpkin? Like on the vine?
I don't know about on the vine.
That makes me sad. That makes me a little sad. We should do that.
I'm not full white, though. So...
You're only half white.
You talk about these places like Oklahoma and Arkansas, and I've never even heard of those.
I'm just saying, one of the funnest experiences as a kid. Like I grew up in Maryland for a few years, or between 5 and 8.
Maryland, crab and football.
Yeah, exactly. And we would go to a pumpkin patch, like as a field trip as a kid, and we would go and pick.
Like what kind of patch?
Pumpkin patch.
Okay, just checking. I'll start a little pumpkin in there.
Pumpkin. No, but that was such a fun memory because you had to stay within a certain size, and of course the rule was if you couldn't carry it, you couldn't take it with you. But that was such a cool memory of like, hey, I'm actually getting this, as opposed to like a grocery store. You just see all these and you just want to choose the best one.
You think you're better than me?
100%.
No,
I'm just surprised that you've never done that.
I think it would be cool to pick it from a vine. And maybe one day when I make a smaller version of myself, I can go do that.
There's Anderson Farms that's like 30 minutes north of you out by Longmont that is huge.
Anderson Farms remembers.
Anderson Farms remembers. But no real traditions on your end?
Just a seance to payment, Just calling in like the eighth king of hell. But beyond that... Like, no, pretty chill, pretty normal.
Just sacrificing goats,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think it. Other than
you didn't have goat on Halloween?
It's weird.
Huh.
I actually love lamb. No, I'm trying to think as a kid. Probably the pumpkin patch, like going to pick our pumpkin was like the quintessential. When we lived here in Colorado, because my parents had a ranch, we grew our own pumpkins. So we actually got to pick from a massive garden.
Right. So just you and your brother, and like you'd walk 5 feet and you're like, let's go to the pumpkin patch.
No, and again, I couldn't trick or treat out by my parents' house because the nearest house was like a quarter mile away. So I had to drive into town. I'm just trying to think of like fun memories as a kid. Did you ever, when you were in school, like elementary school, did they ever do that thing where it's like you have the sensory boxes where you reach in and it's like, oh, this is organs, but it was actually just like cold spaghetti,
yeah.
or it's like, eyeballs,
cool.
and it's like actually peeled grapes.
Yes.
Those were, I think,
cool.
core memories for me as a kid. But traditions, probably just picking a pumpkin, but not even like and the other tradition would just be carving with your family. Did you not
Oh,
carve
totally.
pumpkins?
For sure. We would carve pumpkins. You pull the seeds out.
Yeah, you would bake them.
Put them in the
Were
oven.
you a savory or a salty pumpkin seed seasoning person? Because I know some people do like cinnamon brown sugar, and I'm just like salt the shit out of them.
I think we went salt.
Yeah.
I think my grandma would make pumpkin pie, and that is something that we would do.
With actually the pumpkin itself, or like
I don't know about like the
innards of the pumpkin.
I don't remember, but probably.
I would say probably.
But my grandma would come over every year.
Nice.
And we would. Yeah, it was just kind of like now, and that's come back to me. It's kind of an arts and crafts time. You would carve out your pumpkin.
So good.
We would also be probably like drawing and doing something
where they had like the stencil paper that you would draw.
Exactly.
And as a kid, like it's funny. I feel maybe it's where I was located, but like carving pumpkins back in the 90s was very simple. Like you just had two eyes and some sort of like jaggedy smile. But now, like you look at the pumpkins people carve. They're like etching into it, like making mosaics. You're like, okay, this is way too much.
For real. Y'all are trying way too hard. Yeah, you clearly were an honor student in junior high, and now you're just bored with your life. Yeah, I mean, because back then, like, you didn't, like, maybe you made stencils.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually people sold stencils.
But they had the books. Remember, you had the books of, like for $2, here are things you can trace on your pumpkin.
And even that, maybe you didn't have that. And you're just like, okay, I'm just going to carve something out and hopefully this works.
I'm going to put two triangle eyes.
And half the time, and half the time it wouldn't work. And you'd be like, oh.
Yeah, because you'd make one cut wrong, and then you're like, oh, well, let's get some toothpicks and we'll put this back together. And by the next day, it shrunk and your whole pumpkin looks.
Did you ever kick in pumpkins and like mess with people's porches?
I was such a goody two shoes. Yeah. I never TP'd a house. I never egged a home. Regretfully, I wish I did that.
The night is young, my friend.
That's true.
Yeah.
I could just go buy some expensive ass eggs and drive by, just driving around the neighborhood.
No, just put on a horn mask and we could do it.
2 syllables. We'll just go over that.
I definitely kicked in some.
Oh, really?
Pumpkins.
Oh,
yeah.
Were you, what is it called? Ding Dong and Dash?
Ding Dong Ditch?
Yeah. Did you do that too? Did you light the bag of poo on the porch like Billy Madison?
I probably did. Like, I wasn't like actually a bad kid, and when I would do things like that, I would instantly feel like, oh man, I think I shouldn't have done that. It was like kind of fucked up. So I didn't do it a ton, but I definitely did it enough to like to experience it and be like, oh man, I feel bad that I fucked with that person's porch. But I never went back and cleaned it up, and I never apologized for it. I just like carried that shame within me, and it still lives with me to this day. Hi, Sarah? That's the name of my therapist, yeah.
Well, you touched on this before about like, we did simplistic things in the 90s. I think it's a good segue into what Halloween, as we perceive it, see it as adults for kids today versus what we got to experience. And it's very different.
You know better than I do because you have a child.
Yeah. Well, I even before having a child, living in the neighborhood I am now, very kid-friendly, it is... Trick-or-treating starts like as soon as school is over. Like, where trick-or-treating now starts, at least in my area, starts at like 4 o'clock. Like, the kids are out during daylight, and the idea is to be done at dark. Or, what is even more popular, especially post-COVID, they're not even trick-or-treating anymore. They're doing what's called a trunk-or-treat, where they'll literally have a bunch of cars in a parking lot with their trunks open with candy, and the kids will just expedite it. They'll just walk from car to car to car to car to car, and that's it. And their night's over. And I'm just like, man, we must be so terrified in today and age of letting kids walk around neighborhoods. It has to be a fear thing.
Around neighborhoods
at dark. Walk around neighborhoods at dark. I think parents are just terrified now of, oh, my kid's going to knock on a door and they're going to get kidnapped.
Okay, well, are you terrified? Like, let's say you let your child in a couple of years, would you let them go by themselves
I'm probably just
6 or 7?
I'm probably just going to be a helicopter parent. I'm a helicopter parent.
So that's what I'm saying. So,
but I wouldn't take the experience of trick-or-treating away. I would just be a little bit more monitored than what my parents were. But I don't want to take like the magic of, oh, we're going to go into a parking lot for 20 minutes for you to just wear your costume and then go back to your iPad and eat candy the rest of the night.
That's pretty whack.
Like, I just, and we were talking about this earlier, trick-or-treating started at dusk, or like almost like when the streetlights came on,
Totally.
boom.
Yeah.
That's when we head out.
Yeah.
And it's weird now so what do you think evolved? Is it just our parents didn't care, or we just really believe the world is that much more of a terrible place for our kids to go trick-or-treating in?
Yes.
Hmm.
I think our
But I
parents.
thought your mom loved you.
She did, but I think ignorance is bliss.
And she's like, I hope he gets kidnapped this time.
Yeah, please, please. No, I think we're exposed to more information now,
Okay.
and more of that is being shared. And so you hear one razor blade put in one apple somewhere, and then all of a sudden,
Or one kidnapping or one abduction, and the narrative changes.
which understandable to a degree, right? Like you hear of your kid getting kidnapped, you think, "Oh my God!" Like I am going to do everything that I can to prevent that from happening.
Even if it's
my
1 in
child.
100, I'm not going to...
Even if it's 1 in 1,000,
Yeah, I'm not
there's
going
one
to take
in-
that chance. Yeah.
So I understand the little voice in the back of your head that's preventing you from letting your kid do that. It's just a bummer because I enjoyed that autonomy as a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my parents did too, because of that meant that they felt confident in my ability to make decisions and in our general community to not be a predator.
I think what's even more sad is these kids can't miss what they've never experienced. Like
Right.
they didn't have the autonomy, so they don't even get to miss something they never knew existed.
Yeah.
Like, so we don't see it from their perception of all they've known is, oh, we're going to this parking lot. I'm going to get a crap ton of candy in a real short amount of time. And I get to go home and chill and play video games and watch whatever I want on
Right.
TV. Like, so it's obviously a different time, but it's just like those were core experiences. I know everyone says, oh, you need to go touch grass. And I feel like that in this instance of there was just something so like core memories, as you said, of me and my friends are going to be without our parents or adults, maybe an older sibling.
Yeah.
And we're just going to live the night of Halloween. And it's just like, it's not that case. Even if you watch like any Halloween, like Hocus Pocus or Casper, they're all trick-or-treating at night.
Right.
And it's just like, that's not the world we live in. I
know.
Last year, 2 years ago in my neighborhood, between the course of like 6 to 9 p.m., we had 5 trick-or-treaters. That's
wild.
So
In this
depressing.
neighborhood, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, and I think it's just because, one, parents don't want their kids going out, or they just do the trunk or treat thing.
Yeah, that's whack. I mean, I understand it from both ends. On one end, for me growing up, it did feel like somewhat a rite of passage.
Yeah.
That, I am old enough and mature enough as a kid to go by myself.
Got it.
Or at the end of the night to dump out all of your candy and to look at all of it with like your friends to like see like what you got.
That is such a core memory because your parents would, you always wanted Halloween to end on like a Friday or a Saturday because that usually meant a sleepover at someone's house and TV you're not supposed to watch.
Yeah, scary
movie or like South Park, something like we're not supposed to be watching
And
this.
you're going to house a ton of candy.
Correct, because those parents don't care. They're like, do whatever you want.
Well, it's a holiday. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, we'll let you eat all the
It's
candy
probably
this
like-
one time.
Tanner or Connor's house. And no, but you're right. That I just remember one specific Halloween. It's probably 98 or 99 because we were watching South Park, the Halloween episode of South Park, where like the fish is like murdering people.
Yeah.
And I just remember we all dumped our candy on the floor and we're just like organizing it between piles of, okay, this is what I'm going to attack first. This is what I'm going to save for later. This candy's kind of sucks, so I'm going to save this for an end. But you're right. But that was so fun. You would game all night. You'd watch scary TV or whatever everybody decided on all night.
And you're still wearing your costumes.
Yeah.
So maybe you're even like pretending to like fight,
Yeah. It makes me sad that they don't get to experience that today. Or maybe they still do after trunk or treating, but I don't think it's the same idea.
Well, that's what I was going to say on the other end is like, okay, so then what are we doing here? Like the kids are just dressing up in costumes and then they're going to get candy from houses from strangers.
Yes.
And everyone's like, what? Like, where did this come from? Is this a weird, like, ritual habit?
Didn't it start in like England?
I don't even know. But I mean, regardless of where it started from, where it is now, or at least that version of it is
Yeah.
like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, why have we
Oh,
adopted
the
this?
whole idea of Halloween in general as like, oh, well, it's like Easter Bunny giving out eggs. That doesn't. How did Easter
Totally.
become like about a rabbit tie dyeing eggs? That seems kind of odd.
Well, is that? Do we think it's like capitalism? It's like, oh, we want you to buy certain things for this holiday?
Do you
Yeah.
know how much expensive candy is now?
I
Like,
don't
do you
know.
have any kids around where you and Nina live at all?
Yeah, but not really. I mean, we're kind of in the city. We live in like a cool neighborhood, you know.
Okay.
So
No kid, dink neighborhoods, dual income, no kid.
kind of a little bit, yeah.
No, but like a fun size bag of like 100 pieces is like $15 or $20. Like it's not inexpensive to hand out. Like it's an
Yeah.
investment if you want to hand out candy. Now, granted, for here, I'm like, I dread this because we buy a shit ton of candy, we get no trick or treaters, and then it's like, well, I'm gonna just eat this over the course of the next 2 months and gain 5 pounds. But
Okay, so what do you typically pass out then?
I go for a combination. So I usually
You give
do
out full candy bars? Are you generous?
if I have like brands send me free stuff. Like I had like so a couple years ago, Big League Chew sent me a box of
Oh.
like
Yeah.
100, like an absurd amount of bags of Big League Chew. So I handed it all out.
Okay,
Which,
so I take it back. To get Big League Chew or to get what is the
bubble
one
tape.
bubble tape?
Yeah,
I remember getting that, and that was like incredible.
dude. 2 years ago they sent me like probably 100 or 150 packs. This giant box of just Big League Chew.
that is
And I'm like,
wild.
I can't chew all this. I'm not going to go through this. And I was like, oh, Halloween is literally in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hand this all out. And I only had 5 trick-or-treaters. So I was like, please take like 2 or 3. I'm just like, please, like take handfuls. I also got a big thing of bubble tape, but that was already depleted between the neighborhood because everybody knows I get free stuff. I'm like,
Okay.
so we're in this group chat of like, hey, do your kids want any free gum? Because I
that's
got
funny. There
way
you
too
go.
much. Or like anything I get from brands that I can hand out, I will. But typically, I go with the fun size variety pack of like Snickers, Milky Way,
Sure.
Butterfingers. But
Yeah.
then I also do the
Skittles,
the sour,
Starburst.
so like the Sour Patch Kids, the Starburst,
Oh.
and Skittles pack. So I try to do.
You sound like a
half
great
and half.
house. You're
Yeah,
like,
like
I want to go to.
yeah, if you're in northern Colorado, I'll hand out some legit candies. Please swing by because we always have leftovers. But I don't know. So do you think we'll ever go back to that, or are we just too far gone? Or do you think Halloween's just going to be phased out as a holiday entirely at some
Well,
point?
I mean, I don't have a kid, so I'm learning about stuff on this podcast.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be phased out. Like, I remember
Is that a
like-
good or a bad thing?
my parents would be like, hey, don't go to any houses that don't have the lights on.
Yeah.
Of course, we went to houses without lights on. We you know, but like as a kid, that's just what you
Of course,
do.
they just didn't do the exact thing they told us.
Well,
not-
because you would know that there's a house over there that's like kind of creepy,
yeah,
and you're like, there's no light on. I've never been there before.
their lawn's not mowed.
Totally, it's very. It looks desolate, and you're like, but maybe they're giving out full candy bars. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're giving out N64s. Who
Right.
knows?
Who knows?
There's like
Exactly,
they're like trying to trick us.
shooter's got to shoot.
Yeah.
Knocker's got to knock. You know.
They're like, oh, this was a test. You're the one kid that gets a free N64.
I've got rollerblades. I'll knock on. I'll like back up a little bit, and I'll get the fuck out of there if I need to. And that just, I don't know. There's something about that feels like a rite of passage, like that you need to like kind of test your boundaries. Now, I never got right by
You're
razor
still here,
blade,
yeah.
right? No one ever like stole me.
You also have to be terrified now, today's day and age, of like, oh, what if someone's handing out weed gummies? Like that is a legit concern as opposed to a razor blade. Because if you're a kid, you just see this like, oh, little single packet.
Well, that was another thing. We were not allowed to eat anything that wasn't in a package.
No, but it is in a package, but it's just a clear wrapper for most edibles. So it's like, oh,
Okay, yeah.
as a kid, I'm not thinking, I'm like, oh, this is a different kind of candy. I could see where the
Damn, that's
confusion
crazy.
lies or the concern lies. But yeah, it's just, I'm betting in probably the next 10 years, Halloween's gonna, I mean, we'll always have the consumerism of, oh, Halloween, watch these movies. But I think just the traditions that come with it are just gonna be obsolete.
You're probably right. I would like to think eventually when I have a child and I move to like a really boring place like where you live,
White suburbia.
No, but you live in like a nice place where like I would imagine that I would know a good amount of my neighbors. And I think if you came together with like a locals kind of group meetup
Yeah.
and you talk to 200 of like the parents or 200 of the houses and say, "Hey, let's do this. Let's make this an experience. Leave your light on if you want people to come up to you." And you could create that experience, I'm sure, within your neighborhood if you wanted, if it meant that something.
We've done this the last 2 years, even though my son's not really old enough to comprehend what's going on. This year will probably be the first year he actually gets to walk on his own and really do it.
Right.
But yeah, we know probably 40% of the neighbors in this neighborhood. We're all pretty close. They all have younger children. And again, but we start at like 5:30 we're all going out, we're walking from house to house, but it's fun. Like one of the neighbors brings like a bar cart, like we're drinking like
That's cool.
boozy apple cider and
That
stuff.
sounds like a ton of fun.
And it's super fun because it's literally you're just talking with your neighbors who we're close with our neighbors. We're like trying to bring that 90s vibe back of like actually knowing the people next to you, because I feel like a lot of nowadays is like people don't talk. But here in this, at least in this neighborhood, we're really close, and we're just walking down the street, kids running up and down, back and forth to these houses. What's funny is like last year, there were so many houses that were not doing it. Even in this neighborhood, you're just because our neighborhood's kind of what's interesting about this place was it was originally a 55 up community. Then the financial crisis happened, and so that whole plan scrapped. So there was like some of the people that live here were 55 plus, but then it's just been pretty much regentrified from that. But you still have some like quite a bit of older couples here that I just don't think want to. Nah, F this holiday.
Yeah, get off the fucking line.
Fuck them kids, like kind of thing. But no, it's that is what I really enjoy is like, oh, I'm going to hang out with my neighbors who I'm close with. We're going to have a few adult beverages, and we're just going to walk around in a crisp environment. Like today, super crispy. Fall leaves, perfect right now.
Awesome.
It's awesome, and I'm just sad that kids...
Let me take a gun.
Yeah, no, for real. You need to come up.
Go grab all the candy.
You have a practice round of what it's going to be like.
Is gonna, like steal some of your candy.
So to end this episode, were you a eat it all tonight candy, or were you kind of like,
no,
were you saving like, I'm going to save this and make this last until Christmas?
I am known as a grazer. I love delayed gratification. I love edging, honestly. And so I would love to like drop out my candy and organize it and probably do it.
Did you do it like a pillbox, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
With my Raisin Bran? Yeah, exactly. No, I would probably organize it to some degree of like, oh, here's all the candy that I like, here's candy that I love, and here's the candy that I don't like.
Got it. Okay.
And I would probably eat my way around the edges to my favorite candy that would be like left.
You would save the best for last. So it was kind of like a build-up process of,
you know what edging is, right?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna wait till the Raisin Bran and then bust my Raisin Bran that day.
Right. And I'm sure there's times which I sent it a little bit, but I'm pretty good at like holding on to something and looking forward to it later. You?
I don't remember. I think I would probably eat like a good portion of it, but I would like to save some of my favorites for like the end, like save some for last, so I'd make it last a while.
Okay, like for like a few days.
Yes,
or a few hours.
Fat piece of shit.
I don't know.
So when I say make it last a while, I mean like till midnight, and then I eat the rest.
So would you think you'd like typically consume it all in a...
No.
Okay.
Goodness, no. I would. But I remember, I don't know about you, but I would literally fill up like half a pillowcase to 2/3 of a pillowcase of candy.
Same.
Like was a gross amount of candy.
Yeah. Well, yet again with the rollerblades thing, I would fill it up.
That is dope.
I would take it home. I'd drop it off. I'd empty out, and then I'd go back out again.
Did you ever switch costumes? Did you ever pull that move?
No, and rarely did I go back to the same place.
You would smash pumpkins and terrorize people's homes, but you wouldn't switch costumes.
Well, because that only happened when I was on the cusp, right? When I'm probably like 12
right
or 13.
On the edge.
Nice. Yeah. Well, like 12 or 13, where it's like I probably shouldn't be trick or treating anymore. You know what I mean? Like
when was that final year?
It's probably junior high. It's like when you're like starting to like make out and like touch a boob. You know what I mean?
So that'd be like 17 for me.
Right. Good Christian boy.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, but like once that started to change over, because also what changed with that is your costume became shittier. you're like, oh, I'm wearing a mask. This is a Halloween costume, and you're just like, okay, like there's a
or you just put on like a red shirt and devil horns, and you're like, okay,
right. There's like a 3-year-old girl in a princess costume, and you're like, waiting behind her to get the candy, and it's like, okay.
It's weird because like I want kids to still trick or treat, but I remember last year I probably had a kid that was like,
right,
like 14
going
or
through puberty,
14 or 15 come up, and I was like
he's like a goatee.
I was just like, okay. I had mixed feelings. I'm like, should you be trick or okay?
Yeah.
You're still trick or treating, so I'm going to give you candy, but I'm like, eh.
Yeah. Do people say trick or treat when they come to the door?
Yeah, they have to. Or I don't give them candy.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I hold the line. I'm like, nah. You at least got to give me the gratification of buying this, of saying trick or treat, unless they're like tiny.
What is a trick?
I don't like. We're
not the whore trick, but like
I don't. I'll have to look up the definition of where it came from.
Got it.
But no, I
think the trick. I think a trick is a hoe. Pretty sure.
Don't trust me.
Comment below if you're a trick.
We hope that we brought some memories back. Certainly, Brandon did on the fly for me, which is always fun.
Same.
We hope
me as well.
Yeah, I hope you guys are getting in the Halloween season. As soon as November 1st, we're going to put up a Christmas tree and go straight on to Christmas. Fuck Thanksgiving in my household.
Wow,
yeah, surreal.
Long take.
But no, we're going to have some more Halloween episodes. Hope you had some smiles and laughs, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Yee-hee.
Ooh.